Hey guys, this is Smithy. Welcome to my channel. Today's video, we're going to talk about 5 brands that I really want to try in 2024. These are the indie brands that have caught my attention and I'm very excited to talk about it and I really want to give them a try. I have my laptop right here so that I can look at all these palettes and talk about which palettes actually excited me. So if you're ready, let's begin. On number 5, I want to actually talk about Leal Cosmetics. The Midnight Serenade palette that they recently came out with absolutely grabbed my attention. The only reason why I did not pick that up is just because I crossed my threshold of buying eyeshadow palettes, and Leal was not one among the brands that was in my radar for 2023. But the palette that they released, I can totally see myself grabbing that palette because I love mauves and like everyday tones and pinkies and browns tones, and that absolutely looks right up my alley. I love the price point of it, that it's like $45. At this point of time that we are in, I know that a lot of indie brands are like at that $65 to $75 price point. And if an indie brand can keep their quality up with the $45 price range, I feel like that is a good price point for any brand for that matter. And this definitely caught my attention, so I'm very excited to see what all palettes will they release in 2024. So Leal Cosmetics is definitely on my radar. Next, on number 4, I have Artitude Cosmetics in my radar. With their Obsession palette that they released this year, they definitely got my attention. They also had my attention when they released their Man Eater palette, but it seemed like a bigger eyeshadow palette for me just because they had a lot of shades in Man Eater. I can see 20 shades in Man Eater, and in the Obsession palette it came out with 16 pan eyeshadow palette, and I feel like 16 is a very good spot for getting the variety that I'm looking for, as well as the color story was absolutely stunning. The only reason I did not try anything from the brand that time was just because I felt like the multichromes that were included in that palette was definitely the multichromes that I have from other indie brands here in the US, and Artitude Cosmetics is a UK indie brand. But I can see myself going to UK in the next year, in 2024. So I am very keen on trying this. So I might just grab something. I have my sister in UK, so I can actually buy and then get it shipped to her, and then I can just collect it when I go there. But very excited for Artitude Cosmetics because I'm loving the color story and the quality. Whoever has tried Artitude Cosmetics have loved the quality, so I'm very keen on trying them. The next brand that I want to talk about is Nomad Cosmetics on number 3. It's very hard to believe that I've not tried Nomad Cosmetics yet, and it's mainly because none of the color story has absolutely like jumped out to me. Not saying that they would not do anything that would jump out to me, so I'm very keen on trying them. Definitely I had my eyes on their Royal Europe palette when it launched, because it was like a jewel tone palette, and they also had like several multichromes included in that palette. Somehow I skipped it just because I heard like a lot of people saying that it's a very deep palette, you don't have lighter tones, and then I got the Bejeweled palette from Bella Beauty Par and I fell in love with that palette. Again, that is a palette that doesn't have like much lighter tones, but I absolutely love that palette. So I am very excited to see what Nomad has in future for us. And after the Royal Europe palette, actually they came out with Ghost Town palette also, but that is the time when I bought like Natasha Denona palette, so I skipped on that. And then nothing excited me, so I'm very excited. I know that they're doing like a sneak peek for 2024. I'm very excited to see what is coming. So let's see. Hopefully very beautiful palette that I would definitely try. If so, then I'll definitely try Nomad Cosmetics. The next brand on number 2, I have my eyes on Fantasy Cosmetica. And this is another brand there whose color story has not spoken out to me, but I've heard beautiful things about the people who have tried Fantasy Cosmetica, and I love the price point that they do. I feel like most of the palettes are $38.99 and they do 9 pan eyeshadow palettes. 9 pan is definitely not like my preferred pan eyeshadow palette, just because I feel like you're restricted with 9 pan eyeshadow palettes, just because I love a variety in my eyeshadow palette. So I really love a 15 to 18 pan eyeshadow palettes. I feel like that's like my sweet spot. But I'm very excited to try Fantasy Cosmetica. Again, Druid palette definitely was intriguing. Rogue palette definitely got my attention. And then they came out with Fighter palette, which is a neutral palette that also got my attention. But nothing was unique to my collection, and that's the only reason why I did not get it. If something unique comes in their color story, I'm definitely willing to give them a try. So fingers crossed, hopefully Fantasy Cosmetica would enter the realm of Smithy's collection in 2024. And on the top of the list, on the top, like tippy tops, I have cosmic brushes to try in 2024. I have several of their palettes that caught my attention, especially with their Winter Wonderland palette and their, what was that purple palette? The Gothic palette. Gothic palette and the Winter Wonderland palette definitely caught my attention. Gothic palette was again a smaller palette, but with a lot of purples. And I am a big purple lover, you can see. Big purple lover, and that definitely got my attention, but it was very similar tones of purple. Winter Wonderland palette, when that was released, I was like, I am 100% getting it. And then I got the Ensley Rain's Lands of Enchantment palette, which is very, very similar to that. So I didn't want to get like repeated color story. I know for a fact I'm going to love cosmic brushes because the YouTubers that I love and trust their opinion, all of them love cosmic brushes, and I cannot wait to try them in 2024. I really want them to come out with a color story that absolutely knocks me out of the ballpark, and I cannot wait. These are the 5 brands that definitely have my attention, and I definitely want to try them in 2024. Very, very excited for this new year. I'm definitely going to keep a threshold again for this year of trying like 10 palettes. Instead of 10 palettes this year, I bought 12 palettes and rest of them were sent to me in PR. So I think that is a very good threshold for me. Like 10 palettes, I feel very comfortable in. But yeah, let's see how I roll in 2024 and which are the new brands that will enter my realm in 2024. But if you did like this video, you know what to do. Do give it a thumbs up and do let me know in the comment section below which are the indie brands that you want to try. If I have tried them or not, or if there's a brand that you absolutely love and I have not tried as yet, do let me know in the comment section below. I'll definitely put it in my wish list. But that's all for today, guys. If you did like it, you know what to do. Do give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and ring that notification bell so that you're notified every time that I post next. I generally upload 3 videos every single week, every Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until next time, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.